Hello everyone, welcome back for another exciting game. Tonight we've got Stun Gaming Invictus versus Madison Esports Camerbert. Me, K9, play-by-play tonight with my co-caster and also producer for the night, Adam. We're going to get right into draft real quick here and starting off with Camille Yone for Stun Gaming Invictus and Madison Camerbert taking off the Vex.
Yeah, Vex going to be taken away from Wally as well as the Shen on the top side for Avo, so already some comfort bands taken off the table as to be expected. You know, we are 1 day into the new season, so exciting stuff going to be coming through onto the Rift. At least that's what we hope.
Yeah, being the first day, going to be a lot of new things. New dragons are out, new items, new meta entirely, so it's going to be very interesting. I've heard from a lot of people that tanks are actually back in the meta, so we're going to see if there's going to be any tanks picked up. Also, we have the new items, the new assassin items, and some changes to champions, so hopefully we'll be able to see some of those coming out, as well as the new dragons, the Hextech and the Chem Tank dragons. New and exciting things are up for grabs, and looks like it's a classic misfortune. So, gonna go back to the roots of Worlds.
Yeah, some things never change. Looks like it is going to be the misfortune picked up, but Tahm Kench, very early pickup here, as well as that Victor. Tahm Kench, a tank, that's for sure, so we'll see how that works out, because that's a very early pickup, and normally you'd see, in reply to an 80 carry, another 80 carry pickup, but instead it's just apparently, or what we expect to be, their top and their mid lane, so getting their solo lanes nice and early into this draft are coming bar.
Yeah, definitely picking up those early top and mid laners. Victor does have the arcane buff right now, so we're gonna have to see how that works out. But Seraphine, a good response. I think it's okay into Victor and can be flexed into that support position if needed with the misfortune. Has the setup with the ultimate and with the root. And Tahm Kench in the top lane is gonna be that big beefy tank, kind of a bruiser-esque style. Doesn't have too much CC. But with that ultimate being able to grab someone and protect them from, you know, the misfortune ult can be very important.
Yeah, and also is quite good with the new, what is it? Glacial Augment, that's what it is, the rune. Yes, the new Glacial Augment, basically when Tahm Kench slows someone, a whole bunch of freeze rays comes out, so he starts to be like Mr. Freeze, just shooting those all over the place. On top of the fact that a lot of the tank items right now are very strong, I'm looking at you, Fimbulwinter. It would be quite good for Tahm Kench to potentially look at picking that up the top lane. We'll have to see how that all works out.
Yeah, definitely. And with Corki coming out, gonna be the Corki Victor mid lane, not the Corki Azir as everyone knows and loves, but another very a little boring mid lane. But another classic coming out in the bot lane is gonna be this Jhin. So Jhin Misfortune bot gonna be the Seraphine to go with the Misfortune, and you know the support for Madison Camerbert hasn't really been picked up yet, so maybe going to go for something more aggressive like a Thresh. But Soraka and Lulu have already been banned for Invictus, and it looks like Madison is going to be targeting that jungle pool a little bit.
Yeah, and by the looks of it, a lot of these support and Enchantress bans going against Madison Camembert here isn't too surprising overall. Looking at, of course, the player specifically, you look across the Rift and see it's bolstered mental. Plays a lot of those Enchantresses as well. Generally not seen as very strong when you pair it up with a Jhin per se. Like Lulu Jhin isn't necessarily your sort of kill lane that you're looking for, but honestly, I'd like to see something like a Leona, a Nautilus, some sort of Engage come out, but if it is sort of in the wheelhouse to go for more of these Enchantress styles, wouldn't even be surprised to see a Yuumi come out.
Apparently, the Mist ban was supposed to be Wukong, so not a Mist ban, is supposed to be Wukong, and the Yuumi also going to be off the table. So no Cat, no Soraka, and no Lulu for the bolstered mental on Madison Camerbert. But going to be starting the second phase with these picks. Camerbert's going to, hopefully, we'll see a support here. Might even see a jungler, considering how a lot of junglers have already been taken off the table as well. But that Mist is also going to be Sona. So it is
Yes.
going to be that Enchanter with the Jhin. Going to be the Seraphine Sonobot. So we're going to see which musician here is actually the better character.
Yeah, we'll see if Sona or Season 11 Sona is better. That's kind of the joke that runs through it. But regardless, interesting to see that the Yuumi was banned away, especially right after I said it. But yeah, putting that Enchantress down there gives you a little bit more playmaking, especially when it is a Sona who can sort of lock up a lot of these squishier targets. But the Ornn gets locked in as the answer to the Tahm Kench. Going to be two super beefy tanks up on that top side. And interestingly enough, it's been a while since we've seen, last pick jungles come through. But by the looks of it, that's exactly what we're getting here.
Yeah, it looks like both teams are going to go for that last pick jungle, and it is going to be the Jarvan for Stun Gaming Invictus. So a huge team fight setup with the Ornn Horn. You've got the Jarvan Cage, Misfortune ulti. You've got the Seraphine Encore. Corki just being able to lay out tons of those rockets. So that's quite the team fight they got set up already. So it's going to be very difficult for Madison Camembert to kind of match this wombo combo. But they do have the Tahm Kench to be able to snatch that priority carry out of danger. And it looks like it is going to be the Graves jungle. So, a classic jungler.
Yeah, Graves into J4 is a little bit interesting because Jarvan does have a decent early game in comparison to Graves, but Graves has stuck around this meta and really just had a whole bunch of different options. We've seen Lethality Graves come through, we've seen Gale Force Graves, we've seen Shield Bow Graves. There are so many ways that you can build this champion depending on the matchup and depending on the rest of the game that I'm curious to see how this Graves plays out here and what build they opt to go for.
Yeah, a lot of builds, very diverse character, can go for those one-shots, can go for more of the classic AD carry build with the crit and being able to kind of kite around fights and play a little safer. So we're going to have to see how he goes. There were some Graves nerfs not too long ago that I believe hit his crit damage. But still a very good champion. We saw him a lot in top and mid for a while, so he's going to go back into the jungle here. But it looks like we're going to be getting into the actual pick and ban phase and the client. So what are your thoughts on both of these teams' drafts?
I think one of the major things to keep in mind throughout this draft is the scaling options that both of these teams have. They don't really have a lot of early game realistically. Yes, you have Graves who can, take some of those skirmishes. Jarvan can try and snowball those lanes, but realistically, these teams are going to be scaling up. And one of the main things that comes with tank meta is longer games, and I would not be surprised to see even in this situation, this game going to 35-40 minutes where we will see Elder Dragons become, that game-ending buff where we'll see, multiple Barons come through. That's the main thing that comes with tank meta. Another reason why I feel like these games are going to get longer is because of objective bounties. I think they put a hotfix through either today or maybe late yesterday, which means that objective bounties fall off a little bit quicker and come on a little bit when the lead is a little bit greater, as opposed to basically slim leads making that happen, as well as when you start to pick up more objectives, they fall off a lot quicker. So we'll have to see if that has any impact, but the main thing that I've wanted to see in terms of objective bounties is how teams play around that. Generally, the team that is ahead shouldn't go for any risks. They should just park the bus and wait until the enemy team misplays going for one of these bounties. On the flip side, the defensive team can go around and try and make some really crazy plays around objective bounties as well. So that may lead to a little bit more of a stalemate. So I'm curious to see how this all plays out, though.
Yeah, we'll have to see. There's new objective bounties still very early into the season. So we'll have to see how teams are going to be looking to play around those with the new gold incomes. Also with the new dragons, the Chemtech and the Hextech, also very interesting, giving those new crazy buffs. I've heard that Chemtech is a little broken, giving you that free Scion passive.
Yes.
What I've heard. Also, the perma invisibility is kind of nuts.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Honestly, I've played a couple games on Chemtech Rift. I played, it just gives you really weird playmaking skills. Of course, pink wards are super important now, especially if you get a Chemtech Rift, but one of the main things that you'll notice in Spectate Tool is we don't know how many towers are taken or anything anymore. The Spectate Tool is absolutely atrocious, but that'll come with time, I hope. for all of our
Yes,
sakes. You know,
small indie company. Small indie company.
yeah, small indie company. They don't know. You know, 5 years of spectate till it's still a new feature to me in my eyes. So.
Yeah. I mean, it hasn't been out that long, you know. I mean, Valorant's still waiting for theirs.
Yeah, I mean, Valorant, even their observing tool is kind of a
Yeah.
little scary at times, but
Yeah.
regardless, we'll get there one day. But yes,
Yeah,
that's my
definitely.
expectations that we go hyper late game here.
Yeah. Considering there is a Victor and a Corki, along with an Ornn and a Tom Kench, things are probably going to go a little bit late. You know, I feel like these mid laners it's probably going to be pretty farm heavy. I don't think we're going to see a lot of action there.
I think that for mid lane, a lot of farming, bot lane, a lot of farming, top lane, you know, they'll do their things. They'll be the wet noodle fight from time to time. Realistically, Tom Kench will win out on that matchup in the long run because Tom Kench has % health damage, has a lot to really go up against this Ornn, who realistically is going to want to build a lot of armor, considering the Graves is most likely going to be spending a lot of time up there. But I want to see what their builds are. I think both of them are going to buy that Fimbulwinter. Wouldn't be surprised to see Jarvan pick one up as well because of how busted it is. But I think we're going to see more than 5 tiers this game. That's my over-under there for you, K9. 4.5 tiers or more this game.
4.5. I could definitely see it on Victor. Definitely see it on Sona. Definitely see it on Seraphine, and definitely see it on Corki. So yeah, I'll say we'll see at least 4.
At least 4. Okay, yeah. My over-under is 5. I think we'll see it on both of the top laners. Corki,
Yeah.
maybe Victor, maybe Seraphine, maybe, you know, there could be a lot of tiers.
Definitely Sona. Let's be real. Someone's building tier.
Yeah, let's be. Yeah.
I mean,
We
Sona's
might just all be crying in the club at the end of this one. Who knows?
Oh man, crying in the club. Can't build multiple tiers. Can't build multiple tiers anymore.
Yeah, and I mean that would be insane now, considering.
That is true.
Imagine double tier rise.
Holy.
Oh man.
That'd be insane. Oh, dude, why build another item when you could just get another tier?
True. You know, Ezreal.
Just
You
give
know,
more mana.
he used to abuse double tier. Now he can abuse like quadra tier or something, right?
Oh my god.
All the tier items.
Yeah. Why ever worry about mana when you can just get more tiers?
Yes, but
Alright, but we'll have to see how many tiers are going to be built. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll be on the Rift. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back soon.
Summoner's Rift.
Welcome back, everybody. We are in game on the Rift of Stunned Gaming Invictus versus Madison Esports Camembert. I'm your play-by-play caster K9 here with my producer and color caster Adam. We're getting right into the game, and it looks like both teams are just going off and going to start off with a simple 5-point.
Yeah, we're gonna start off with well, not really a 5-point there. Shade and Knight gonna get a deep ward in there, and on the flip side, they're gonna try and answer. Oh, cool open just gave away gold. Sag.
Yeah. So already bot lane is lost. Seraphine's got 10 gold.
She's got
Go
40
next.
gold. She's
40 gold.
Oh, she didn't get any because there's no allied champions around.
Oh no!
It's
over.
It's over. The opposite.
It's
way
over.
now. She's missing mana now.
Bot lane's lost. But looks like they did get that blue ward up on the top side, so gonna be a little bit helpful for the side of Stunned Gaming. Other than that, just both junglers starting on their red buffs.
Yeah, it's gonna be standard starts here. Of course, Graves can do that without the leash. Jarvan did clear out that ward on the opposite side of the map. Crotat actually just gave a couple of licks too, but for the most part, it will only be Shade Knight who, or Shade Knight is going to be clearing out that ward, but Graves has spotted Renegon there. Gonna be seen doing the red buff, but I don't think either jungler is too surprised about where the other one is starting.
Yeah, both junglers know where the junglers are starting, and seeing how it's Graves and it's a Jarvan, I think everyone can pretty much assume that, hey, we're probably going to be starting on our red buffs.
Watch
But
mid lane here,
trade
though.
coming bot lane, so Griff at already half HP having to burn out his pots. And meanwhile, mid flag and drag not going to be able to land. Cool is just going to be able to walk away, gets a little bit of chunk damage, actually quite a bit, down to about 1/3 HP, so not that bad, gets a little bit of pressure and just going to head up to his top side.
Yep, and that's what you do as Jarvan. You just go gank mid lane, and you get pressure in that lane already. Wally should have a better time here. Of course, given that it is Corki Victor, not going to be too crazy in terms of trading back and forth. Just going to be sort of a farm fest, but hey, any little bit of health that you can take down is going to help. Meanwhile, Graves is actually going to be ahead in terms of that farm fight for the time being, up a camp for the time being. With the nerfed Scuttle Crabs not giving you as much experience now, of course, it doesn't really matter if you get double crabbed as much, only really for the vision, but for the most part, Renegon's going to have the advantage in terms of clear for the time being.
Yeah, definitely going to be a little bit ahead on this experience front. Going for that full clear is going to head over to his Scuttle Crab and has that prio in the mid and bot lane, so it should be pretty uncontested.
Yep, not going to be contested at all. Just going to pick that one up while they're in the area. You know, as we said, a little bit less experience overall, given now actually 80% less experience before the jungle flat experience that you get. So in general, we'll just see Graves probably full clearing here, looking for a back, and we'll see where the first gank comes down, because that's really where I'm curious to see what happens. As we said, both of these teams just going late.
Jarvan is on this top side, but meanwhile, this root is going to be able to land. Both just going to be getting taken down really low. Griff looking exhausted. It's going to come down onto this gen. Has force shot ready. Meanwhile, top side, Flag and Dragon is going to be able to land. Crota getting very low. Does have the shield still. And no kills coming out for either side. Griffington did have to burn the heal, but Griff also popped the exhaust, so trade of 1-for-1 summoner spells in the bot lane.
Yep, Griff able to stay safe throughout that, of course. Bolstered Mental just going to back and pick up our first tier of the game, exactly as you expected, and exactly as we all expected.
Yep, the 430 tier coming in, so not unexpected. Gonna be waiting for these mid laners to also pick up their tiers. It's a tier game, this game.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's crying.
The top laners are going to pick one up as well. At least I would hope so. Honestly, Fimbulwinter is probably the most broken item that they added. Yes, there's Axiom Arc and stuff, but there's no assassins this game, so realistically, no one's going to be picking that one up. But I expect 2 Fimbulwinters up on the top side, and really curious to see how the rest of this early game goes, because I'm not expecting anything out of this. This first 5, 10, 15 minutes of the game realistically doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, bar some massive kills going either way. And from what we see thus far, it's 5 minutes in and everyone's just farming, and Orin has picked up his tier as well.
Hey, so we're up to 2. All right. Mid lane, both laners haven't reset yet, so still waiting for those tiers. Wally's getting poked out a little bit. Probably going to be able to recall and TP back. Kulopen maybe looking to stop it, but looks like he's just gonna head back to lane.
For the most part, everyone's just sort of vibing, doing their own thing, just farming out. Both of these junglers, Shade Knight has tried to make some ganks happen, but once again, it's on champions that really aren't going to get punished for that. I think if Shade Knight wants to try and find some sort of advantages, they have to go down to this bot side where we did see Griff land that root. You see all those freeze rays come out and how annoying it is to deal with realistically, and of course, just able to walk out of it because there was no follow-up damage.
Yeah, I mean, I would say out of all the lanes, your probably best bet is going to be able to go with this bot lane, have Griff land that root with the freeze rays, and Shade Knight's down here. He's looking. There is no wards here, but Graves is down here.
Graves is here. We might get a 3v3.
Oh, beat drop's not going to be able to land. Flying drive is going to pop in the flash, but meanwhile, mental boot, Mental is going to get stunned. Oh, but the stun is going to be able to land. TV's going to be coming down from both sides here. 4-shot not going to be able to go. First blood is going to go down. Here's the Ornhorn coming in. Riddington's going to be able to flash out of here. Here comes the Death Laser. He's going to be able to pick up one. There's going to be another one on the Jin. 4-shot going to be able to land. Another root going to come out. Wally is going to have to back out of there. Get a little bit of damage. Overall, going to be a, what is that, 3 for 1?
4 for 1 overall.
4 for 1.
Yeah, Griefington, the real winner of that. Burned the flash so early on, and you think after that, it's going to be really tough for them to get back into it, but Avo teleports down. Cool Open teleported down Crotad, and Wally did not. Wally just walked down, but up on his top side, Crotad's got himself a nice little freeze going for themselves, and Jin able to pick up everything in the kitchen sink is going to be feeling really good about themselves as they look to be building towards most likely that Gale Force as they are off to the races, 2-0-2 already.
Yeah, I mean, really big fight. Game just kind of really opened up right there with the Jarvan gank. You know, TP comes down from Kulopen, and Avo also TP's down, but Crotad gets this XP lead in the top lane because he doesn't burn that TP, and his team still wins the fight. So, I mean, just really well played on the side of Madison Camembert. But meanwhile, Shade Knight's going in. Flag Dragon is going to be able to land. Should be able to get out. Root comes out. There's the freeze ray, but Blast Cone's out of there.
Yeah, able to get out of there. I saw a post on Twitter earlier talking about plant bounties and how they're a new thing for I'm kidding. it could
Plant
be a
bounties.
thing. You know, when your team's behind, just know that you can get back in the game by clearing out your very own Blast Cone. 50 gold for your team when it happens. But first Dragon will go over to Stunned Gaming Invictus. While it is good for them, they've had bot lane pressure this entire game, despite, you know, losing some of that gold on the bot side of the map. You know, in the end, they're still able to push in that wave and pick up that first Dragon. And we have Mountain Ocean, which gives us Infernal Cloud, which are boring, or Chem and Tech or Hextech Dragon. And since Chem and Hextech are twice as likely actually on this patch, a fun fact which kind of messes with competitive a little bit, we should see one of the new rifts here.
I'm excited. I'm hoping to see Chemtech.
Oh man,
I'm hoping to see it. Also, Corky's got his tiers. We're up to 3. We're up to 3 tiers.
Oh.
Meanwhile, Flash, there comes the Encore. Gonna get to the root. Ultimate's gonna come down. Gonna be able to pick up the kill. Bolster Mental's getting very low. Is gonna have to pop the heal. Meanwhile, Lord Griefington is gonna be able to get the 4-shot here onto Griffin. That's gonna be a double kill coming out bot lane. Shade Knight's down here, has the flag and drag, has the cage. Is gonna be able to not actually doesn't land it. Meanwhile, cage is gonna come out. Deadly Flourish not gonna land here. Griefington has the red buff, has the slow, is looking for Lord Griefington, but I don't know if he was going to be able to fly. And the smite comes out, is looking.
Cool
no, he's going to get out of there. Oh, Open 2, looking. Doesn't have enough mana. Deadly Flourish isn't going to land. It has the Chaos Storm, doesn't even need it. Gets it with the Death Ray and the Siphon Power, and that's going to be another kill for Kulopen.
Yeah, Cool Open coming down there, picking up a kill is really good. In the end, doesn't really lose too much in that mid lane, apart from a little bit of farm, which Renegon will be able to clean up. But overall, just a flash engage from Bolstered Mental. That's sort of why you pick the Sona Seraphine sort of champions, because you can provide a lot of healing, but you have that instant go button with your ultimates a lot of the time. It's so strong to be able to just flash in there, get that ult off, and set up for the rest of your team. And we'll have to see how the rest of this lane goes now, because despite Griefington being down, about 20 CS at this stage, has 4 kills to their name, almost complete that Gale Force, and that's going to be the first, should be the first Mythic item complete this game.
Yeah, should be, but maybe on top side, Crotad not going to be able to land the Abyssal Dive. Pops the shield, and Abel's just going to be able to walk out of here.
Oh, no.
Oh, but there's the encore into the bullet time. Is going to find out the kill on the boosted mental. Spawning in the bot lane.
Yeah, anything you can do, I can do better. That sort of mentality there as they trade back and forth in their, long skill shot, stun / charm-based ultimates, between the two musicians, as he said. But Shaded Knight down there gets the assist with the flag. But other than that, it's just the kill picked up for Putamat Girin here, and sort of gives a little bit more pressure back the other way, albeit this Jhin is still very far ahead. If we look at the gold graph, actually, up about 600 gold despite the CS discrepancy, and that's the difference between them getting their Mythic significantly earlier than what the Misfortune is going to be able to pick up.
Boosted Mental was looking for that crescendo, not going to be able to find it though. Griff has the movement speed, so is able to walk out of there pretty easily.
Yeah, just able to walk out, doesn't really need to risk anything, but you can see just even in my eyes here, this first 12 minutes of the game, while it has gone very much in Camembert's favor, they're up 2,500 gold. It doesn't really do anything, for me at least. It doesn't seem like it matters that much because of how strong the later stages of this game. These tanks, they haven't really participated much apart from that early teleport down. Corki is 0-0 and 0, has just been farming up a storm in that mid lane. It seems like both of these teams are just sort of letting things happen as they will and really just waiting to scale up for this later stage of the game.
Yeah, Graves also on this Rift Herald right now, so probably going to be looking to Devour actually comes down on this Ornn. I don't think you can actually kill him though, Crotad. So, actually, Abyssal Voyage. That's gonna have to burn the flash. So, never mind. Avo gonna have to flash there. Crotad does a lot more damage than I thought he would do.
And that's sort of the power of the Tom Kench. You're able to do so much of that percent health damage over time that, in the end, you will end up getting some very strong trades the longer they go, even up against a tank like Ornn. But looking at the items coming through, I am so happy that the Crown of the Shattered Queen is not on the team with the Ornn, because I hate that Ornn item name, as we went over earlier. But Rift Herald popped down on the mid lane, and
Ornn also TV here has the Ornn Horn. Is gonna actually call it out. Shaded Knight's here too. Isn't gonna Cataclysm, and Ring the thing is just gonna be able to flash and dodge that out of there. So that's gonna be some big summoner spells. Oh, but there's the Corgi package. Coolerman a little bit out of position. Oh, gonna be the huge Cataclysm on it too. They're stuck, but they're actually gonna get Riddington's out of position here. Is gonna find the knockup. Is gonna have to dash for one. Is he looking to find it? Nope. There's gonna be the Ornn picking that up. Bullet time not gonna find anything. Oh, but the other person is gonna land. Griefington a little scary, but is gonna be able to walk away. Overall, 1-0, but a lot of stuff used in that fight, and they're gonna turn to this dragon.
A lot of ultimates burned on both sides, but oh my goodness, the fight's not over. Crotad's TPing.
Here's gonna come out. The curtain call is looking. Crotad's here, unstoppable. Avo's super low, is gonna get killed by Crotad. Looking for more, is gonna find the Abyssal Forge on a Misfortune, is gonna get, actually gonna flash over the pit. Griefington is gonna be able to find that. And overall, actually, now it's a 2-for-1, and they're gonna turn to this dragon. Shade of Night, Crotad on him, is gonna flag and drag into the tower. Flash is gonna come out, gonna dodge the lick. Crotad is under turret, is gonna fall. No, shield's gonna come out. Shade of Night, he's looking, he's hunting. Seraphine's coming down as well. Griff gonna find it. There's gonna be the beat dropper. There's gonna be the kill. Wally is should be able to pick that up, and it's gonna be an Inferno. It's Inferno.
Oh man, that's the worst thing to come out of all of that. No new drags. What is this, season 11? Come on.
Oh man. It's like we haven't even updated yet.
Yeah, it's like we haven't even updated, except the spectator client's worse. That's the only thing that's happened.
There's Crown of the Shattered Queen. There's Crown of the
Yeah, there's a Crown of the Shattered Queen coming through on the Victor. Interesting pickup overall.
And it's Winter's Approach. And we got Winter's Approach.
Yeah, and we got the Winter's Approach on the Ornn, of course, going to be building up towards that new item, Fimbulwinter, giving them a whole lot of shielding. So we have some new things, yes, but the main thing we were looking forward to is seeing some random Hexgate flanks or The Chemtech Rift meaning Misfortune is ulting out of literally the Shade of Night. Haha. Funny pun, but regardless.
Oh, it's too early in the night for these.
Yeah.
Anyway. First tower hasn't fallen yet. So, where do you think it's going to fall?
Where do I think it's going to fall? It's looking more likely to be in this bot lane. Now that Griffington has that Gale Force, has a lot more safety in their favor. As well, there's just been, like, the wave has sort of switched its push focus here. Patamount Giron had done a really good job in this early stage to get that wave consistently pushing in to the side of Madison Esports Camembert, but thus far has been getting punished a little bit in terms of that laning. But Jarvan is coming down. We might see some more action on the bottom side. Honestly, I think the safest place to say first tower is going down is the mid lane, though, because it already had that Herald charge into it, and if Corki backs at a slightly inopportune time, never mind.
Oh, huge crescendo. Not going to be able to find anything. Encore comes out as well. Griefington with the Flag of Dragon is going to be able to find him. Going to pick up one there. Griefington little low. Shaded Knight's hunting. Gets the flag and pull. It's going to be a shutdown. And that's going to be 2 kills in bot, but meanwhile mid, there comes the gravity. Well, it isn't going to find anything else, and Chaosstorm isn't going to find the kill onto Wally.
Yeah, Wally going to be barely getting out by the skin of his teeth, of course, with that shield bow already upgraded and everything, but Cool Open really doing a great job of putting the hurt down onto the Corki there, forcing the flash out. But yeah, that play on the bottom side, Shade of Night, we saw that play coming for a little while. You know, we saw the Jarvan moving down there, looking around, no vision set up by Griefington or Bolstered Mental, and unfortunately, they end up paying the price for that. And as I said, you know, that first 15 minutes, while it did go very heavily into Camembert's favor, it doesn't really matter because now we're back to even, and everyone's starting to get to their first item, starting to get real tanky, and Winter's Approach very close to upgrading to that Fimble Winter. Just needs I think it's 9 more spell casts there.
Yeah, getting pretty close to upgrading, which is a very, very big deal on this Ornn. Gonna make him extremely tanky, but Renington looking. Wally gonna be able to get away. It's gonna land, and there's gonna become the current call. Wally gonna get taken low, is gonna get picked up by Renegade. So another kill onto Renegade, 2-2-2, and that's gonna be Wally's first death of the game.
Yeah, unfortunately gonna fall down there, and sort of just getting punished for not having that flash earlier. Cool Open, burning that flash, and then all of a sudden you see the Corki move down and unable to really pick anything up. But we'll have to see what the rest of the map holds. First tower gonna go down, and it was in the bot lane, but did go the other side. But now we're all evened up back at that gold margin, and no objective bounties yet, which is good because they shouldn't be spawning this early, but interesting as well.
Yeah, so towers, bot lane, both down. Mid towers are both up, however, the side of Stunt Gaming is a little lower than Camelot's. And top lane, both are pretty even on health. I think they're about both half HP or so. A little bit more on Stunt Gaming, but pretty average. But, you know, this bot looking... Dragon's up in 15, so they're gonna see if they can't do anything. Teleports are both up for the top laners. Oh, but there's the Cataclysm into the huge bullet time. Huge crescendo, or not crescendo, an encore as well. Gonna find 2 teleports are coming down. Here's the Ornn Horn. Renington really low. Cooperton's gonna get knocked up. Flag of Drag not gonna be able to find it. Renegade's gonna have to get out of there. Burns the cloud of damage is gonna fall. No, Cooperton, you're on the wrong side of the map, buddy. Evo, flash, gets the knockup. He's gonna look for it. There's gonna be the Willow's Breath. Finding Coolerpin is very fast with that phase rush. He's gonna try and get out, but it probably is gonna die to these turrets. Oh, it's 1-2. Oh, there's no way he lives this.
There might be a way he lives this, actually.
Evo's hunting.
Oh my goodness.
Here comes Wally. Is gonna try to get executed, I think, here.
Oh, you didn't get hit by that!
When he can get executed. He's looking for it.
Okay!
Execute!
Longest chase ever.
Longest. Yeah, interesting team fight.
Yeah, it ends up just being a 3-for-0 at the end of it. They do get the dragon, so they will be working towards a nice Infernal Soul point with that next dragon if they are able to pick that one up. And other than that, though, it just evens out the game. And I don't want to say I've been saying it a lot, but I have been saying it a lot that, the early game hasn't mattered at all at this point because there's just some towers going down. Now that's mid-outer going down at 21 minutes, but these top towers are still relatively healthy. We're still sort of waiting for everyone to hit those item spikes, and even now, Ornn is already getting quite tanky, has that fully upgraded Fimbulwinter, and if we hover over that, means that he is getting a shield for 465 damage if he slows someone or crowd control someone, heavy crowd control, in the middle of more than one person. That's a lot.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a lot of CC, a lot of slows are going to be coming out here. So we'll see. We'll see how long it takes before this item probably gets nerfed. I don't think. I don't think it'll be. I think it'll probably be changed sometime before the next season starts. If I'm gonna be real,
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, one of the things is with playing these games on this new season, a lot of things are probably gonna be a little overtuned or undertuned for the first couple weeks. So it'll be interesting how teams adapt over the course of this break.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see what sort of new strategies come up, of course. Winter's Approach, Fimbulwinter being one of those main things that has sort of popped up a decent amount just because of how much utility you get as a tank now with it. You're able to become so tanky, whereas on the flip side, Assassin's got item updates, but some of them aren't amazing. Axiom Arc, while it does give you that ultimate, refunds part of your ultimate cooldown, some people are saying, the item's not worth it apart from that passive, which means it's not a great item. A lot of back and forth in regards to a lot of items right now, and I think that as people get more comfortable with builds and the itemization, we'll get a little bit more information as to what the meta will shape up to be. Because as of right now, it looks like it's going to be back to League of Tanks a little bit with how many options they now have. But at the same time, we could very well end up just being back into the same old meta again.
Yeah. Looks like they should be able to get this mid tower here rather uncontested. Looks like recall is going to be coming out from Rinningen, and yeah, they're just going to walk away. So free tower picked up. And this gold lead is, it doesn't really matter. It's about 1.5k, 23 minutes. It's not a lot.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Victor just going to try out all of these new items. That's the Shadow Flame picked up there. It gives you 100 AP, as I was just checking. 100 AP, 200 health, and you get more magic penetration. It's sort of like an executing item. It does give you the maximum amount of magic penetration as well if they have recently been shielded. And conveniently enough, there's a shield bow, there is a Seraphine, and there is a Jarvan on the enemy team. And the Jarvan went second item Zhonya's. What?
Okay, I guess we're all trying some new things here. We've got Core Drinker Zhonya's Jarvan. Haven't seen that one before.
And to be fair, Zhonya's on Jarvan is a very good item because a lot of the times, once you go in, you're sort of in trouble. Unless you're going full tank Jarvan, which is absolutely awful right now. Maybe it might be better with the new season, but I mean, the idea behind this is you can keep him locked down for 2.5 seconds while you don't take any damage in return.
I think it'd be interesting to see Fimbulwinter on Jarvan, but we've got a TP coming out here. Crotad's going to be down here. It looks like Ava's going to be teleporting as well down here. We've got the whole squad because Wally's teleporting as well, and we've got a 5v5 on the way.
The package
is up for Wally. He's going to be looking for something. Ava has that Ornhorn. It's going to be coming out here. Rinnegan's on the flank. There goes Soda. Huge crescendo, though. Oh, the fight's going to be coming out. Bullet time not going to be able to find anything. Coolerton's a little bit out of position. There's going to be the flash on the one. Griefington's gonna be able to find one. It's gonna get taken down here though. Crotad's gonna be trying to find anything. It's gonna get stunned up here by Griff. Has the big shield, but that's not gonna save you. It gets the Devourer onto Misfortune. Should be fine though. It's gonna get shielded and sorry, but you're gonna be dinner, Misfortune. Actually, no, gets taken down. before. Grinnigan is gonna try and find something. Shade of Night's taken very low. Potomat Grin very low as well. Does pick up the kill onto Crotad. Grinnigan is gonna try and find the steal. They have Smite.
Yes.
50-50. They're turning onto it.
Oh no, he went too early!
A little bit early. Knocked up, taken down. Smite's gonna save you, but not that long. And that's gonna be another kill on Proden Grurin. And he's gonna be godlike.
Yeah, Potomat Girin able to pick that one up. Pick up a lot, actually, in that fight. Now has that 700 gold bounty sitting on their head. Of note, though, that just evened up the gold across the rest of the game. And while Potomat Girin is now sort of that gold leader, every other lane is still at a significant advantage for the side of Madison Esports Camembert. So this Baron is a little bit risky. The gold is evened up. They have Soul Point, though, and that's going to mean a lot as we move into these later stages of the game, because Infernal Soul into Elder Dragon could be a way that they end the game. But for the time being, it's just going to be back to the wave clear game as both of these teams look to potentially pick up that Baron next.
Yeah, looks like both teams are going to be heading towards that Baron. The side of Stun Gaming Invictus does have that Soul Point now, so it's getting a little hairy for Madison Camembert. One Dragon could mean that Infernal Soul buff, which is a lot of damage on all of these characters.
Yeah, Infernal Soul would be absolutely massive on any member that comes through in the next little bit here because of how much damage they've already opted into. Ornn really the only one who doesn't like it that much, but
Dragon Drag, but there's going to be the Encore on the Renegade. Is taken low. It's going to be Cataclysm.
Oh.
But not going to actually find him. Is still low. Ornn is going to come out looking for him. Is actually going to get it, but here comes the Curtain Call onto anything. Not going to actually do anything because he's going to stop that. And that's going to be the jungler down, and they're going to turn straight on this Baron.
Yeah, they're going to turn onto this Baron, and doesn't look like there's going to be any chance unless they try and opt for the fight here, but you know, there's no Ornhorn. They'll have to try and make something happen.
Artad is going to get stopped.
Oh!
Oh, huge crescendo on the
Baron's
not going to find anything. Blue team gets the Baron with the misfortune, but the fight's going to keep going. Bullet time going to fight him in one. Griefington's going to get flashed on here by Wally. Does have the escape with the Gale Force. Oh, there comes the exhaust onto Cool Open. Is looking to run away. Griefington, you're a little forward. It does have the movement speed though. And it's gonna gets sniped out by the missile barrage. With this Baron, Renegade's gonna be up, not gonna be able to hold this tower for much longer. And they're gonna be pushing into this inhib with 3 members dead.
Yeah, and look at that. The Baron just might end the game at this point. They're so strong now. Up about, they're up 4,000 gold, 4,500 gold after being down 3,000 gold for most of the game. Here come the objective bounties coming through. I don't know if it'll mean anything considering the position, but at the very least, Stun Gaming and Invictus have accelerated themselves past that sort of mid-game lull that they have for themselves and starting to get into that late game. You can see that Ornn has already upgraded the Misfortune Kraken Slayer there to the Wormfallen Sacrifice. Corki as well, going to be working on that 3rd item. And Ornn as well, now sitting on 2 items, has the Frozen Fist and the Frozen... Well, I mean, I'm going to have to think of it because there's Frozen Fist, Frostfire Gauntlet, Frozen Heart, and then this is what going to be Frozen something, right? It has to be Frozen. Because it is Frozen.
Rimforge Grasp.
Yeah, he has Rimforge Grasp for now. I'm just thinking about what Fimbulwinter will be, because it just looks like Frozen everything.
Oh. What does it turn into? Oh, actually, hold on.
Oh.
Guess the Flag and Drag is going to get out. Slow's going to be coming down. He's way too tanky, though. Oh, does get the slow. Flash is going to come out. Oh, and the Abyssal Dive isn't going to find him, so Shade is going to get out of there with his life, and they're going to be rotating into the spot lane.
Yep, and they're just going to rotate down while they do burn the flash off of Shade of Night.
Here comes the current call. Wally's going to get tagged up by 1. Not going to find 2. 1 is going to go on Poonagrin. Shade of Night's still very low here. Crotad's going to find 1. Cataclysm going to come out, but not going to find anything. Oh. Stopwatch is going to be burned as well. TP's coming out.
Oh,
huge bullet time on Desona. You're gone. Reddington's next. He's going to take it down. Cooperton and Crota are the last members of their team. Gonna be able to find this low. Gravity Storm is gonna come out too. Not gonna find much. Gonna get taken down. Another stopwatch is gonna be good. Crotad's gonna flash over the wall. It's gonna be a 4-for-0, and they're gonna be marching down this game.
And that might actually be curtains on this game. Gonna be upgrading that shield blow to give a little bit more damage to the Corki, but They are just going to continue that long march forward here. Looks like they'll be able to end this game before we get to ultra late game, surprisingly enough, but they're able to let their champs scale up to where they need to be, in a great performance out of Padamant Girin, as it's going to be Stun Gaming Invictus taking game 1.
Yeah, very well played by Stun Gaming Invictus. Able to get the early lead. They overcame it. They were down a little bit, but they managed to bring it back. They had some really good team fights. The huge pick onto the jungler into the Baron fight kind of was what really like broke open the game and gave them all the utilities that they needed to be able to pick up this win.
Yeah, a really good, strong performance coming out from the side of Stun Gaming Invictus. And looking at those damage graphs there, you can see a lot of that sitting on that Misfortune. Good performance by the Victor from Cool Open there, but overall just wasn't enough to overcome the eventual rise of that Misfortune. And honestly, that's the main reason why she's still picked up, even with all these new fun items around. She just goes her tried and true combo and works it out.
Yeah, those bullet times able to put out massive damage. We saw in that last fight, the Sona just get obliterated only by a few waves of that.
Yeah, that bullet time was so strong in the later stages of the game, but we'll have to see how the next little bit is going to come through, because game 2, pressure is going to be on Madison Esports Camembert to sort of keep their position over Stun Gaming Invictus to prevent them from moving on, or if Stun Invictus will get their revenge.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Game 1 just finished with Stun Gaming Invictus over Madison Camembert. We're going to have to find out what happens in Game 2, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back for game number 2 of Stunned Gaming Invictus versus UW Madison at Camembert. Just got off of game 1 with a pretty dominating victory from Stunned Gaming Invictus, able to pick up a clean win within 30 minutes of the game. So starting off into draft of game 2 with Camille off the board for Stunned Gaming Invictus and Vex down for Madison Camembert.
It looks like a lot of the bans are going to remain the same, at least from the side of Stunned Gaming Invictus. They were able to play to their win condition. They were down throughout that early game, but as we said, once we got to that 25-minute mark, a couple of items came down. Stunned Gaming and Invictus were just able to piece everything together and pick themselves up that victory. And we'll see if they just run it back again, because we have the exact same bans, bar the Seraphine ban here now.
Yeah, and that's going to be the first pick, Misfortune again. Same as last game. We saw how Misfortune did last game. Was very strong. It had some huge bullet times, and with the team comp that they drafted, just worked very well with the Jarvan Cataclysms, with the Ornhorns, with the Seraphine Encores, so was able to put in quite a bit of work with it.
Yeah, and they're going to have to rethink their draft strategy, and already we see a pretty big change here. That's Brand picked up. Don't know where that's going yet.
Yeah, we'll have to see with that Brand. Very early pick, and then there's going to be able to respond with the Viego. So we'll see if that's going to be going into the mid lane or the jungle, or maybe even top lane.
Yeah, Viego, higher priority in terms of going jungle now, but there's definitely some flexibility still available in this draft for UW Madison Camembert. Obviously, they didn't have anything prepped for the Brand because they're struggling to figure out what they're going to go for, but that's the Volibear locked in. I believe this is going to be Avo playing that up in the top side. Shaded Knight not really seen as a Volibear player, but honestly, still another flex potential here, and really curious to see how they round out this first phase of picks.
Yeah, so far, the first phase of picks are fairly interesting with the Brand Viego and early Volibear picked up. So Volibear is flexible into that top lane or that jungle, and looks like it's going to be the Misfortune Karma lane, probably going to be, for the side of Stunned Gaming Invictus.
Yeah, still some flexibility with that Karma in the same way that the Seraphine had flexibility last game as well. Likely to go down to that support position for Griff, but could go into Wally's hands as well. Really curious because it is kind of a wide open draft for both of these sides. We know that the Misfortune and the Jinx hover. If that gets locked in, those are going to be your ADCs, but everything else could go into multiple different positions.
Yeah, everything kind of has that flexibility, and it's going to be that Jinx. So we've got another arcane buff with the Jinx coming out for Madison Camembert.
Yeah, we'll see if Powder makes any mistakes this game.
We'll see. We'll see if it's her fault. Again, for all you people who haven't seen Arcane,
go watch it.
We'll try to watch it. Yeah, watch it. But we'll try not to spoil too much. Powder's Jinx. Spoiled it.
Oh, spoiler! Oh,
Spoilers.
I'm pretty sure you learned that in like the first 5 minutes of it.
I mean, you can kind of infer.
Yeah.
If you've played League, you can probably infer that that's probably Jinx.
Oh, she has blue hair. Oh, so does Jinx. But
Yeah.
Corky ban away from Wally. Yes, they don't want to give that scaling option again in that mid lane, but that's an interesting ban. Akali.
Yeah, so Akali, I haven't seen a lot of Akali in the recent times. Has kind of fallen out of favor with a lot of players. Has been hit time and time again with nerfs and changes to her kit, and hasn't really been that powerhouse assassin that can really do things that other characters can't really do because she can be invisible forever anymore.
Yeah, and with the Jarvan banned away as well, it looks like they're expecting that Volibear to go up into that top lane. Akali is a little bit stronger now, I believe, because of Shadow Flame. It's a really good item with their kit, but still not going to be able to push her into this game at least, as looks like Wally just doesn't want anything to do with that assassin in the lane. But UW Madison Camembert, they still have a couple of options for their lanes. Looks like they're expecting that Brand to go support, though, at least Stunned Gaming Invictus are with those two mid lane bans. Curious to see how they round out this draft, because right now they definitely need a little bit more of a front line, and they need maybe something with some more peel as well.
Yeah, definitely are gonna need something, something very tanky, and that's pretty tanky. You got the set coming out. Uh, yeah, that's a big tank. That's a big beefy boy.
Yeah, and does a decent amount of damage as well. You're able to throw Volibear back into his team to do a decent chunk of damage if he's ulted. And it's also one of Grotad's champions that he's very comfortable on, so very likely we get a Bruiser versus Bruiser top lane. That does answer the question that Viego is most likely going to the jungle, albeit we're still waiting to see what Cool Open wants to pull out here. Oh,
And it looks like they're gonna respond with Tom Kent into this set in the top
it is
lane.
Volibear jungle.
So yeah, it looks like that is going to be the Volibear jungle. Unless I really want to throw a curveball and say that's going to be Tom Kent support Karma mid Volibear jungle.
Oh man, please no, not like this. But regardless, the Tom Kench was quite strong from Avo last game, or it was strong from Crotad last game. Avo going to be picking up the other side of that matchup into the set here, but yeah, it looks like that Karma is going to the mid lane as the Leona gets locked in. Leona Misfortune, very strong combo. You drop both ultimates on top of someone and you can really punish someone.
Definitely, and if it is this brand Jinx bot lane, they're both very squishy. Don't really have a way to stop that big bullet time from coming through and really just wreaking havoc on them.
Yeah, and that's why I'm curious to see what this last pick is, but looks like the brand's going to be that support as Malzahar currently hovered. Malzahar would do quite well with the tank shredding ability that Malzahar has in terms of building, the Leandri's building, the likes of the Demonic Embrace as well, and with those Malefic Visions, you can just stack that up over time, but we'll have to see how this works out, especially considering going to be facing up against the Karma, who is normally seen as a very, I want to say passive laner in a way.
Yeah, pretty passive laner, does have the shields, does have the very easy wave clear with the mantra Q, so we will be getting into the client draft here. What are your overall thoughts on both teams' drafts?
I think that in this game, Camembert is carrying a little bit more damage, so they have a little bit more ability to snowball their leads this game. Last game, they did pick up net lead nice and early on into their game, but they just ended up falling into the trap where in tank meta, you can get an early lead with aggressive picks and still not end up being that successful overall. Whereas Stun Gaming and Invictus going with the tried and true, going with that Misfortune, alongside a lot of supportive assets. The Volibear can provide a sort of secondary damage source as well as this Karma, but it's really all eggs into the Potomac Giran bucket. Again, we'll have to see how well they're able to play out this Misfortune, and really is going to be dependent on how they play this game.
Yeah, Potomac Giran really the only major damage source for the side of Stunned Gaming Invictus. With the Tom Kench, the Volibear, and the Karma, you don't really have a lot of damage in your top side. You're mainly relying on that Misfortune, those big bullet times, and honestly, besides the Leona, you don't have a lot of setup for that either.
Yeah, you really want to get Misfortune into a position where she can carry the game. I think a lot of that is going to come through how they lane against this Jinx brand, which you can punish quite well with that Leona with some ganks from Shaded Knight as well, but if Misfortune starts dying in laning phase here, it's going to be tough for her to get back into this game, because as we said, the side of UW Madison Camembert here, they have the ability to snowball their leads. If you get a Viego with 6-7 kills, it doesn't matter how tanky you are, because they'll just shred you.
Yeah, for sure. On Madison, I really like the set pick into this Volibear, because Volibear goes in, and Set just throws him back out. And he throws him back out with that huge HP pool that he gets, which just turns into more damage for Set.
And in the same vein, that's what the Tom Kench is as well, is just a big meatball that you're able to throw back into the Karma, into the Misfortune. Leona not really a target for that, but, is an option as well. But this is why this, it's really all in the Misfortune basket. Every source of support is going towards keeping Misfortune alive for as long as possible. The Devour, the Karma Shields, the Leona Peel. They need to make sure that they keep this Misfortune alive through the early game, because if she gets to that mid to late stages of those games, it's going to spell trouble.
Yeah, for sure. The Jinx has those rockets, can get very dangerous. If he ever gets a reset in a fight, Malzahar can just, flash R, and you turn off Misfortune for a time. Viego can be really scary, especially if your misfortune's big and she ever dies, and Viego gets the reset and gets to be your misfortune against you.
Scary.
And yeah, it can be a little scary. So we'll definitely have to see. There's a lot of damage for the side of UW Madison. Camembert, even the support has a lot of damage. Even the support has a lot of damage, being the brand.
Yeah, and Bolstered Mental, I believe this is a pick that he has pulled out before. It's a comfort pick, so can really bully out this lane. Can bully melee supports as well if they're unable to find the engage, but it's really once that Leona goes in, if she can find that engage onto the right target, whether it be the Brand or the Jinx, and they're not ready for it, Misfortune and Volibear could link up to set up a couple of kills down there.
Yeah, Bolster Mental is going to be up to play pretty well to dodge those Zenith Blades, because if one lands, it could really spell death for either him or Lord Griefington. And with the damage that Misfortune can really dish out with those the passive and the double up.
Yeah, I'm going to also keep my eye on how this mid lane matchup works out. Wally should be relatively safe in this lane, but is susceptible to potentially getting ganked by the Renegon. If there's a silence that comes down, prevents Karma from being able to flash away, Viego does have the ability as well to burst out that Karma. So really focused on how the Renegon plays this one, as well as how Shaded Knight plays. These junglers are going to have very pivotal roles in keeping their teams, or playing for their team's win conditions. Renegon wants to play for that early game, whereas Shaded Knight wants to sort of prevent Renegon from playing the early game.
Yeah, for sure. But we're going to have to find out when we get in the game. Meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and take a quick little break while we wait for this game to load. So don't go anywhere. Game 2 is starting when we get back.
Summoner's Rift.
Welcome back to game number 2 of Stun Gaming Invictus versus UW-Madison Camembert. We're starting off with an invade here, but it's pretty quickly spotted out by Shada Knight, and nothing more is really going to happen.
No, they look a little bit silly. They're all going to get spotted out. That's going to help Karma's damage chart, but everyone's just going to back off. Feels bad, man.
Feels bad. Karma hits the 5-man Mantra Q, and everyone walks away.
Yeah, nothing's going to end up happening there. Now, they are able to get a ward deep here. Griff going to be able to put that down on the blue buff here of Viego, but picking up that sweeper should be able to sweep that ward out and get a little bit extra gold for that.
Yep, able to get a little bit more gold, so can maybe feed it to one of his laners, get them a little bit of experience, or just take it for himself. But they did get that early ward onto his blue, and they are going to be able to find it. So a little bit of gold goes to the pockets. And starting up on this blue buff, so both junglers starting on their blues. Last game they both started on their reds. So they're going to be pathing towards opposite sides.
Yeah, because they're starting on opposite buffs here, that means that obviously the game's going to go the opposite way, right? That's how it works?
Definitely. Yeah.
The team with Tom Kench loses, or?
Yeah, Tom Kench 100% lost.
Possibly, but Wally going to have the upper hand in this lane, at least at level 1, level 2. Once it gets to level 3, level 4, Malzahar picking up maybe the tier, even maybe, or at least the lost chapter as quickly as possible. That's really when the lane is going to shift, and Malzahar is going to be able to just use that Malefic Visions, push in that wave constantly, and really feel safe in this lane. But for the time being, going to be a little bit more difficult to do that.
Yeah, Karma, while is very supporty, does have that early ability to cast R, so does have a little bit more damage in the early laning phase, and can put a little bit of pressure on some of these mages. But meanwhile, everyone's just kind of farming up. Shada Knight did just pick up that red buff and is looking on this bot lane.
Oh
Flash,
my goodness.
Xenoblade is going to be able to land. It's going to come with the exhaust on Lord Griffington. Volibear's here looking as well. Should be a kill. Heal is going to drop as well, but he just knows he's dead. He's trying to get some farm. And that's going to be first blood for Potomac Kieran.
Yeah, really well played. Griff just able to take advantage of the fact that Brand isn't able to land the full combo yet. Still only level 2, and Jinx very difficult to play that lane if you're level 2 as Jinx. You know, pushing up that lane a little bit too far, and now Potomac Kieran going to be able to get a relatively safe back out here, and they're going to be off to the races once again. We said that it's important for this Misfortune to get fed in the early game, and she already has a pickaxe compared to the longsword that the Jinx has.
Yeah, so very nice gank there by Shada Knight. Really well played by Griff with the flash Zenith Blade into the stun. It's going to be 2 summoners down, though, because Griff did burn that exhaust along with the flash. Well, Griffington only burned his heal, and I don't think he really needed to burn that heal. I think he was dead either way. But still is a summoner advantage for Madison Camembert, but item advantage over for Stun Gaming Invictus.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of an advantage in this early game, but as we said last game, advantages in the early game don't really matter that much, and that was shown true by Stun Gaming Invictus themselves. There's a pretty big wave pushing into Avo here as well in the mid lane. Wally did back a little bit earlier to try and pick up a Dark Seal and boots for themselves, but you know, they miss out on a little bit of CS, but does that really matter in the long run? We'll see, most likely not.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see when. I'm expecting Cool Open to probably pick up an early tier. Griff taking a little bit of damage, but the Zenith Blade does land. There's going to be the stun. Ignite is going to come out. Heal is going to come out as well. Shada Knight's down here as well. TP is coming down. Bolster Mental is going to fall. Another TP. So both huge flash, knockup, stun. Flash heal is going to come out. Facemark isn't going to land. Griff is 1 HP. Flash is not going to be able to pick up the kill. Griffington's going to be able to fall here. Going to be able to stun. The Abyssal Voyage isn't going to find the knock, but that's not going to matter. Rinnington's going to be able to find the Misfortune. Is going to turn into her, but I'm sorry, because there's another chain and a bear, and that's another kill. Meanwhile, Conrad's in the middle of them. Shields are going to be able to keep him alive, but that's a huge face break onto 2. Haymaker's going to look for more. Stun is going to get rooted. It's so low, all of them. Wally's trying to find if he can get this, but Crotad's going to be able to walk away, and everyone's on a sliver of HP.
Yeah,
Instrumental's back. Avo a little bit far forward. I was going to have to flash over, but he's looking for Crotad now. He's going to get the slow, but doesn't have that mana for the Abyssal Voyage, and is going to walk out.
Oh my goodness, what a messy fight. Everyone comes down to the bot lane once again. 5-man bot at 5 minutes, you know, the old classic. And in the end, once again, Stun Gaming Invictus are able to get the upper hand in that they pick themselves up a couple of kills onto Shade of Night there, as well as one on to Avo. But in return, of course, giving one over to Renegan and Crotad. What that means is that some of the gold is going to, or a lot of the gold is actually going up to this top side of the map, which can't be a little bit volatile for Lord Griefington here, especially considering a little bit of the rough start that they've had to this game. Potomat Giran, though, has the wave in a really rough spot as well, and going to be kind of difficult to walk up and farm here, but Shade of Night has returned.
Yeah, so many summoner spells burned on both sides. Every TP was burned. Almost every flash is down, all of them except for Bolstered Mental, who still has his Ignite and his Flash. Griff's Exhaust is back up off of that cooldown, and, you know, that fight was something.
It was something, that is for sure. No summoners across the entire board now, except for those on Bolstered Mental and an Exhaust and a Smite from Shade of Night.
Yeah. But actually, Wally is going to be able to pick up this blue buff right under the noses, so feels a little bad for Cool Open too. Doesn't get his blue buff this game.
No, I'm not going to be able to pick that one up, so yeah, interesting.
Right? Can we get one of the new dragons this game?
I hope so. I mean, it's
really
Cloud
do.
Dragon here. That means it's not going to be Cloud Soul, which is good. I just really want to see one of these new souls pop up. It would be really interesting.
Yeah, I don't want to see another Infernal. I've seen plenty of Infernals.
Yeah, we've seen Infernals and Mountains and Air Drakes and Ocean Drakes for like 3 years
Shade
now.
Has the Predator movement speed, is going to get rooted, but is going to find the stun on the Griefington, is going to get the slow with the Thunder's Call. He was going to come out, is going to get crit. Meanwhile, top side, Crotad is going to be able to find almost one. Actually, it's going to be able to Avo. Another kill picked up. Rinnington's going to get ghosted, flashed, and dashed. And Cool Open 2 is going to try and find something. Wally's going to be able to get the root. There's going to be the Zenith Blade and the stun, and they're going to be able to go ahead and throw that over to the bear. That's a big bear. 4-1-4.
Yeah, and a delayed ace across the board there. Only casualty being Potomat Giran at the end of that one. Not Avo able to pick up the kill onto Crotad. 2 more kills for Shade of Night on the bot side. Another kill for Wally. It's just all falling into place for the side of Stun Gaming Invictus. They continuously find these advantageous fights for themselves, and you know they've got themselves up to a 2,000 gold lead in this early game. Once again, though, got to keep in mind, early game leads may not matter too much considering the team comps.
Yeah, I mean, the bot lane farm deficit, Potomac Giran is down about 20 farm despite being so far ahead in kills. Which is a little
ahead
unfortunate.
In 1 kill, yeah, it's rough.
Jinx has died 3 times.
Yes, their gold is even, which is wild to me. I think.
I'm baffled that gold is even despite Jinx dying 3 times and getting 4-manned like twice.
Shows how important farm is, but first Herald's going to go over to the side of Stun Gaming Invictus. They'll pick up some plates with that as well, so pushing even more of a gold lead in their favor.
Yeah, and we're not going to be seeing a Mountain Soul this game, so well, we're seeing if we get the Hex Tech or the Chem Tech, but Crotad, there's going to be ulti shutting down that turret. Stun! Haymaker going to be able to find a little bit of shielding. There's going to be ulti as well. Shade Knight's going to take up this turret, though, and that's going to be another kill onto Avo, 3-0.
This Tahm Kench is getting a little bit scary at this stage as well. Got a lot of kills, going to be very tanky. And one thing about... Oh my goodness. Minions.
Wow. The Super Mega Death Rocket actually is going to be able to find Shade Knight. So that's a nice bounty out of the pocket of Jinx.
Yeah, really advantageous for her to get a little bit more back, or a little bit closer to getting back into this game at least. Wow, I can't speak either. Just dropping that ultimate down to the top side, but it's going to be the Turbo Chem Tank picked up here for the Volibear. And of note, Turbo Chem Tank did get changed, so it is sort of like a... It still has the active, but also has the added bonus of sort of having this Dead Man's Plate active or passive on it, which is quite good, especially when you pair it up with an actual Dead Man's Plate. So curious to see what the build option is going to be here from this Volibear, but I just wanted to point out that slight item change that, despite it looking like the same item, it is quite significantly different.
Yeah, that's going to be one very fast bear with the Predator, with the Chem Tank, and probably going to be building into this Dead Man's eventually, but Griff going to be able to land his Eden Blade. There's going to be the stun. Huge bullet time. Going to be able to find Posted Mental. Is going to get stunned up by the choppers. Abel's down here with the TP. Going to get rooted. Abyssal Voyage is going to be able to find the Jinx as well. Lord Grievington's going to be taken down, and not even on a rampage. Should Knight pops the Chem Tank, but not going to find anything else. As Rinnegan able to scoot on out of there with the Hero Path. Actually, Rinnegan is going to be able to go back. This is the... Oh, does not land the Heartbreaker. And Wally's going to be able to walk away with a sliver of HP.
Yeah, Wally, really good flash there to outplay the ultimate from Viego, but overall just looking really good thus far, at least this game for the side of Stun Gaming Invictus.
Oh, Super Mega Death Rocket going to go a little bit wide, not going to find Wally.
Yeah, and one thing to mention, did mention that if they're able to get an early game lead, it's easier for them to take advantage of it for the side of Madison Esports Camembert. If they fall behind, it's also a lot harder to get back into the game because of how tanky the enemies are going to be. Looking at the builds coming through as well, Karma going for what looks to be either the Ludens or potentially an Everfrost, going for one of those AP Mythics, so going to be supplementing a little bit more of that magic damage. And already the Fimble Winter complete on Avo there. Going to be getting tankier in their own right. So overall, just really good early game already coming out from the side of Stun Gaming Invictus. And if they continue at this pace, they should be cruising to a victory.
Yeah, already up 2.5k gold. Do have that first tower as well in the top lane, thanks to that Rift Herald. Avo finds Rinnegan. Is going to start building those stacks, gets the stun. Here comes the bear, and here comes a kill. This time it's going over to Wally.
Wally walks up, picks that one up, now has 10 stacks in the Dark Seal, and should be looking to try and take advantage of this.
Going to be able to land on the most mental. That's going to be the bullet time as well. Ooh. Very low. Gonna flash. Is gonna actually get him with the stun there. Has gonna flash away. Lord Grievington looking for more. Gonna have to flash the Super Mega Death Rocket. Pass the stacks on the Lethal Tempo. Is actually gonna get it with the final crit. Gonna be 1-for-1 in the bot lane. Trade of supports.
Yeah, trade of supports there. Jinx getting another one after she gets excited, but Shaded Knight is here and he's moving very fast.
That is one fast bear. TB comes down as well. I don't know if that was necessary. This bear is gonna shut down the turret and it's gonna go to Wally again.
Yeah, Wally teleports down there just to make sure, but regardless, unfortunately, Lord Griefington is getting Lord Grieftington this game. Just everyone coming down into their lane. Cool Open in trouble too. Oh no.
Oh, Renegades also in trouble. Dawnbreaker's actually gonna go over the wall and find one. Meanwhile, Cool Open's gonna try to stay alive as long as he can. Minions are gonna be able to drop a Q, but not going to be able to keep him alive much longer than that. And meanwhile, Kill is going to go over for the bear as well onto Rinnegan after he picks up the Misfortune. And that should be Mountain Dragon for Stun Gaming Invictus. And we're going to see what kind of soul we get.
Yeah, please give us a new soul. That's all I care about at this point. But 23 kills in 15 minutes. Very high-paced game coming out from Stun Gaming Invictus. Much more so than last game. And they're taking advantage of it. It's
oh shit!
I'm so bored.
Rest on sleeper.
I hate this game.
I'm so sad.
Sage.
New season, and we don't get to see any of the new dragons.
Oh well, we'll get them next time, but regardless, one day. As it stands right now, though, with a 3,000 gold lead at the 15-minute mark. 2 full items on that Tom Kench. completed mythics on the rest of your team, and Leona with those tier 2 boots, as well as the makings of what will end up being an Evan Shroud here. Really curious to see how the side of Madison Esports Camembert try and get their way back into this one, because right now, only people with those mythics is the Jinx and the Viego, and thus far they haven't had such a fun time dealing with Shade Knight's Volibear.
Yeah, definitely not. The Shadow Knight's Volibear, incredibly tanky, incredibly far ahead with being 6-2 and 7. Is down a little bit on farm, but I mean, just so much pressure that he put into this bot lane, the side of Madison Camembert having 9 deaths combined, really does put a damper on things.
It is a little bit of a rough situation because the only thing that's really keeping them in the game is the fact that they've been farming significantly better than their opponents. You can see the farm leads in almost every lane for the side of Madison Esports Camembert, but once again, they have a lot of damage, but not a lot of tankiness.
Doesn't even need the bullet time, just gets one shot. That brain is on fire. Renegade looking for Griff, does get the slow. Is gonna be able to walk out of there. Drops a little bit of the BM as well. Knowing he's way too tanky.
Oh.
Flash coming out from Grief. There's the Stormbringer into the bullet time. It's gonna get eaten to dodge the Malefic or Nether Grasp, and this Rift Arrow is gonna get 2 charges and 2 turns now.
Yeah, it's gonna get the second charge down, and they're looking to just sort of death ball this through. They should be able to pick up this maybe in a bit, but
maybe later. Yeah, it doesn't look like they're going to break the base just quite yet. Looking like they're going to take a quick reset. But good Devour by Not Evo onto Shade Knight to get him out of that Nether Grasp and keep him alive to not drop this 150 gold bounty.
Yeah, there should be objective bounties coming through soon, I would expect. Of course, Spectator Client doesn't tell us that, which is really nice because we don't know until all of a sudden there's lights on all the towers everywhere and all of the objectives, but it is a 4,000 gold lead now, moving up towards 18 minutes into this one, and yeah, they don't want to give up any of these these bounties on themselves right now. Really, everyone's got that going for them. As we said, the Evan Shroud going to be completed on that Leona as well. So when she crowd controls someone or mobilizes someone or gets immobilized herself, she will her allies will be doing 12% more damage, which is a lot.
With the Abyssal Voyage, does get the stacks, is gonna get eaten and swallowed and spit out. Griff, here's the Solar Flare onto 1, is also gonna get another grasp, so that should be a kill.
Nope. Actually,
no, the Flash and the Karma Shields are too big, and Griff actually gets out of there with his life.
Yeah, just barely able to stay alive there. Really, just by virtue of the fact that they are so tanky at this stage. They have their Mythic, they have their upgraded boots, and their completed support item. They're just a little bit too tanky on top of Wally's shield, so really difficult to take down the light. Oh, why was Zavo tanking tower there? I don't know. But they're just so tanky at this stage that even despite the Nether Grasp and everything, it isn't enough damage to clean that one up.
Yeah, I mean, just incredibly tanky, this Leona, with the Evan Shroud right now as well. Ooh, Shade Knight got spotted by that, so not gonna find Ren again. And with Dragon here in 25.
Shade Knight has his Zhonya's.
Again. He does.
This time on Volibear.
He really likes these Zhonya's. Man, he really likes Zhonya's. On champions that don't really build a lot of Zhonya's.
I like it a lot less this game. The Jarvan I had a rationale for. This Volibear I don't have a rationale for, except for keeping yourself alive for 2.5 seconds. I guess maybe to reset tower aggro, but in that case, then everyone should build Zhonya's. But this is going to put them onto Soul Point here. They're starting to run away with this game a little bit, and we'll have to see if the side of Madison Esports Camembert have any answers for this, because right now it just looks like they've been sort of stuffed out of any sort of plays.
The Solar Flare goes a little bit wide. Haymaker is going to keep him alive. Is going to get stunned up, rooted up. Wally's doing a lot of damage. Is going to have to flash out. Another grasp. Huge bullet time under 2. Does get the pickup out of the Jinx. Hardgren is gonna get jumped on, but not gonna find much. Abel in the backline is gonna pick up the brand. Cool open, very low. They're all very low. Renegade's gonna be able to get out, but there's the Beastbreaker back. He's trying to find anything. Dodge the Haymaker. Wally's just alive, but is he gonna bleed? Is he gonna burn? The burn is gonna be able to pick him up. Avo finding Cool open is gonna get eaten. Sorry, but no Void tonight for dinner. Actually, over Renegade as well. Abyssal Voyage gets the knock up. That's gonna be a Sunfire. Or a kill as well. And an ace for Stud Gaming Invictus.
Ava has 10 kills on Tom Kench. Now,
who said Tom Kench wasn't a carry?
Yeah. Tell me with a straight face that Tank Meta isn't back now.
I mean, Tank Meta, I think he hasn't even finished Winter's Approach. It's not even upgraded yet.
Yeah, it's not upgraded. He's just
still stacking, and he's 10-0.
It's pretty ridiculous at this stage.
You know who I think would be really good with Winter's Approach? I think Zach would be. I think Zach.
The issue about Zach having Winter's Approach is the fact that he can't stack mana.
That's true. Which sucks.
And I don't know how that would. I don't even know if they let you build tier now with how much hand-holding the items give you. You can't build 2 pairs of boots anymore. That was my favorite thing to do on Karthus before. Build 2 Sorc shoes.
Is gonna get.
Oh my goodness!
Shit, I did the backline on the boosted mental. This bear is flashing, dashing, and there's gonna be the Sonya. It's gonna go golden for a few seconds.
Yeah, has to get out of there, but man, the Thunder just rolls in, picks that one up. As, yes, objective bounties are up. What are they? I don't know how much they are. We're probably not going to find out because at this stage, it's just Stun Gaming Invictus sort of running away with things for the time being. Wally just playing Gatekeeper here, but this should be the Baron going into their hands here. It is a 6,500 gold. I don't know. Don't do math on stream, as always. 5,500 gold lead right now. Should get boosted up to about 7,000 after cleaning up this Baron, and they're going to be backing off into their base with pretty big wallets here. And this Tom Kench going to be sitting on 3 completed items. How do you kill this catfish at this point?
With a lot of damage.
Blood, sweat, and tears. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I mean, they do have double Leandries and the Kraken Slayer on Jinx. I don't think it's enough though. Like his shield is too massive at this point. He can just soak up so much damage, and when he finishes this Winter's Approach and an upgrade, he's gonna be even tankier.
It's gonna be extremely difficult to take this Tom down, and this is going to be interesting to see how the next this Baron push is going to turn out, because I'm curious to see if the side of
Okay. Bullet time onto bolstered mental. Doesn't even need any sort of stun or anything. Solar Flare not gonna be able to land on Lord Griefington, but tower's gonna fall. That's a fast bear, but I don't know if you want to just run into them like that. And that's gonna be first inhibitor down, and they're gonna be go ahead and back on up and head towards this top side.
Yeah, they're just going to do this as methodically as possible. Unfortunately, bolstered mental. You got the wrong boots to try and stand up against this misfortune, as she just presses R and he dies.
Yeah, that was literally that whole kill was just Avo landing the little lick, and then misfortune just pressing R.
It was a pretty straightforward kill, to say the least.
Yeah. No setup required, really. Just kind of walked up and killed him.
I mean, the setup has been building for the last 24.5 minutes here. Of course, misfortune having the lead, but
is gonna get dumped on. Gonna not find much. Renegade is gonna have to flash away. Holgren, face break isn't gonna land, but has the huge Haymaker shield. Doesn't get the true damage on anyone. Meanwhile, backline Shade of Night is looking. Does use the Stormbringer flash from Wally. Chain is gonna find boosted mental. Shade of Knight's trying to find more. Does land the slow. Is gonna get suppressed. Goes golden temporarily. And Kieran is gonna
has the ult back up.
And that's gonna be a 4-for-0.
That might be game.
that might be game.
Yeah, and ooh,
Oh,
Avo's on the hunt.
Grieving just flashes away. Ava doesn't even care at this point.
He might care.
He might care a little bit with Renegade alive.
Yeah, but this should be Ocean Soul taken by the side of Stun Gaming Invictus as sort of just their victory lap at this point. They've got themselves a 10,000 gold lead. Going to pick up this tower as well as Avo finally able to finish that Winter's Approach. And, you know, if you just look at their wallets right now in terms of the gold, Avo's sitting on about 2,800 gold. Wally's sitting on 1,500 as well. You know, they've got enough to finish up their items. They're just sort of playing with their food at this point because they can. They are so far ahead. They've got all of this healing now on them that any sort of poke that comes down will just be completely healed up. And
Remington's gonna land. That's a huge mantra. You're gone. See you later, Powder.
Will not see it again. And we see the surrender vote fail, actually, as well. So there might be a little bit of tilt on the side of Madison Esports Camembert.
Yeah, might be a little bit of tilt coming out. That's going to be top turret falling. Avo does get the lash, but doesn't really care. Has a bajillion health and a bajillion shielding. Just doesn't take damage.
And as this game continues to progress on, you know, it's more so just the fact that they don't have that Baron buff anymore that is preventing them from just straight up ending that game. Minions aren't strong enough to deal with the rather strong wave clear that the side of Madison Esports Camembert have at this point, but overall, they're just so far ahead at this stage. You can see 3 completed items now on this Karma. Almost 3 complete items on Potomat Girin as well. Might be just picking up some extra gold to clean that one up. Tom Kench at 3.5 items. Even this Leona now has 2 completed items, which you rarely see in this meta. And, you know, they're just sort of waiting around for this next big objective, which is this Baron in 75 seconds.
Yeah, and I mean, I think this Baron is... They're just waiting for this Baron, and then they're just gonna probably push and try and end with it. Shade of Night finds cool open too. There's gonna be the Storm Bear. Not gonna find much else.
It doesn't look like it will end up being too much else here, but you can just see they're sort of just waiting around. There's nothing really to do for the side of Stun Gaming Invictus. They don't need to overextend themselves to force a fight. They can just take this as slow as possible and just clean up all the rest of these outer turrets, get as much gold as possible, or just go for the fight.
Oh, they're just going. Never mind. They're just going in. They're gonna find one. They're looking for 2. Volibear's in the backline is gonna find a number 2, and that's gonna be 2 quick kills. Avo is just taking turret because he really doesn't care, and he has that huge shield and Karma and.
Oh, going back in.
Voyage is gonna be landing on Jinx
Oh,
and.
where'd she go?
Yeah, the Jinx has a lot of health.
Oh,
Oh, dodges the ult, and there goes one again.
that's why he
And
plays on
Avo is taking both towers, as he can, and that's gonna be game.
Yeah, and honestly, just a really clean series from the side of Stun Gaming Invictus. Basically, the first 15 minutes of the series belong to the side of Madison Esports Camembert, and then after that, from about 20 minutes of Game 1 onwards, it's just all been Stun Gaming Invictus in their favor, and looks like they're just going to pick up a quick 2-0, and they exact their revenge on Madison Esports Camembert.
Yeah, I mean, just really well played by Avo. I mean, he really did pop off. He was unkillable in more ways than one.
Yeah, it was just a straightforward victory. Really just nothing went wrong.
Yeah.
They just did everything right.
They really didn't give them any shot to come back. They just well played team fights, put them at Girin. You know, at the beginning we said we were a little worried about them not having enough damage, but I mean, put them at Girin said it doesn't matter because I'm Misfortune and I'm just gonna one-shot your whole team.
Yeah, and basically that's exactly what they did. Good supplemental damage kind of brought up by the flip side of that as well. Well, I can't think of the Karma. That's what I'm thinking of. Wow, I am losing my mind. But yes, the Karma was able to supplement that additional bit of damage that was necessary, and if we just if I take a look at these gold graphs here, yep, highest damage in the game was actually the Brand. So shout out to them, but of course Brand always ends up with just having pretty ridiculous damage, but then it's Misfortune and Karma following behind. So regardless of all that damage, the shields from Wally were massive. Griff with his engages were consistently on point, and Avo just probably had the most fun playing Tahm Kench that you could have, just being able to face tank absolutely everything and really not giving a care in the world.
Yeah, I mean, maybe tank meta is back, and we're going to start seeing some more tanks, especially with the Fimbulwinter being such a good item for a lot of these tanks.
Yeah, being sort of broken. Just straight up, it's pretty broken.
I'm expecting it to probably be nerfed.
Yes.
That's quite ridiculous.
Yeah, but that's basically all we gotta say. Sun Gaming Invictus just sort of blew them out of the water in this game and picked up a really clean 2-0.
Yeah, game one, a little bit more back and forth until the Baron fight, where it really kind of broke out for Stun Gaming Invictus. But game two, Stun Gaming Invictus really were just in control the whole time. They never let Madison Camembert really do anything for free or get away with anything without any sort of punishment. So that's going to be it for us tonight at Style Esports. If you like us, go ahead and subscribe. We also have a Patreon. There's games every day or almost every day this week, especially with playoffs going on. Thank you from me, K9 Lowell, and my co-caster and producer Adam here. We'd let everyone have a good night from us at Style. Take care.